What is up, Packers fans, and welcome back to the Daily Draft. I'm your host and the publisher of Pack Report, Ross Uglem, and we are brought to you by Brewski, light lager from Badger State Brewing, the greatest can in all of Wisconsin. Our good friends up at Badger State Brewing in beautiful Greenway Bay, Wisconsin, walking distance from Lambeau Field. Today, we are breaking down Notre Dame cornerback Benjamin Morrison. The Packers cornerback group, obviously, very much in flux. You've got potential exit of Jair Alexander. Don't think the Packers will be reuniting with Eric Stokes. Certainly potentially seeking an upgrade over the Keyshawn Nixon. Javon Bullard is this guy in nickel? Is he outside? Can Bullard play safety? It just wasn't good enough at the cornerback position in 2024. Looking forward to 2025. Benjamin Morrison out of Notre Dame has prototypical size at 6 foot flat, 190. He followed opposing number one wide receiver, so he has experience both on the boundary and to the field side as well. As usually, like I said, he was tracking opposing teams. Number one would not often follow them into the slot, but would follow them, from side to side, left, right, boundary, field, however you want to classify that is up to you. He was an excellent man coverage cornerback, a technically sound player who I felt was also capable in zone coverage, understanding route concepts and combinations, and where he is supposed to be. He's young and he was productive early. He's a true junior. Benjamin Morrison was a freshman or a true freshman All-America for basically every publication back in 2022. So that, PFF, doesn't matter. Athlon Sports, anybody that was doing an All-America list, whether it was a freshman All-America list or a true freshman All-America list where they removed the red shirts, Benjamin Morrison was on it. He allowed just 45.7% of passes thrown his way to be completed over his 3 seasons in college, and that was just a 44.1 passer rating against. Very, very impressive as far as if you just look at the numbers when teams actually did throw the ball at him. Very, very, very impressive. Ball production was also impressive. Pro Football Focus has him for 9 picks and 12 additional pass breakups. So playing on the ball. Another pro, team captain. You always like to see that. You see a prominent programs such as Notre Dame, of course, national runner-ups this season. You see that, and you like to believe, and you feel like they got a good head coach there in Marcus Freeman, a coach that's willing to put that kind of trust in Benjamin Morrison and naming a team captain. You like that, and as I said, he's young. Doesn't turn 21 until March. You guys are probably getting this in early February. So, you feel like a player like that has a lot of runway, has a lot of ability to improve. And like I said, when he's following opposing receivers around as an 18 and a 19-year-old, you got to love that. You got to love that talent level and, kind of what could be. Packers fans, this is the Packer Report Daily Draft, and the countdown to the 2025 NFL Draft is on. There's no better place to celebrate this April than Badger State Brewing, just a short Lambeau leap away from the draft action. Cons, not a great tackler. I don't care that much. I know it bugs some people. Obviously, tackling is important. Certainly, too, I will say, in Green Bay's defense, if you're going to make your edge players, if you're going to play that 4-3, you're going to make your edge players spill players. Those corners are contain guys. That matters. Again, to me, though, just me personally, this is a passing league. If you're going to tell me that I have this great, amazing, awesome cover corner, he can't tackle a lick, I'm going to still take him on my football team. I'll make somebody else tackle, right? When it's 3rd and 10 with the game on the line or 3rd and 7 with the game on the line, I want the cover corner. I get the tackling matters, guys. I do. Especially for defensive backs too. I want my nickels and my safeties to be decent tacklers. If my outside corners are not the best tacklers in the world, I will let that go if they can cover like crazy, and Benjamin Morrison can cover like crazy. Another con, lost for the season in October with a hip injury. You don't love that. You don't love any injuries. You don't love any guys that, didn't finish the season. You don't love that, right? The Packers' history, certainly recently with injuries, would tell you, maybe you don't add another injury-prone guy. I get it. Although I'll talk about this later. Like, I think if this kid had a clean bill of health, he might be more of a top 10, top 12 level player, and potentially just that good as a cover guy. That if he didn't end the season on the injured list, he might not even be around for Green Bay. In that area around 23 or whenever, when they're going to pick, right? They wouldn't even be there. I don't think he'd be there if he had stayed healthy. May not be ready for athletic testing, which of course brings in uncertainty on speed and other important things for NFL corners. There'll be things you won't know. You won't know 3-cone. You won't know 40. And look, man, if he's ready to go at the combine or he's ready to go at Notre Dame's pro day, you'll get those answers. And oftentimes guys go to the film, but there's teams like Green Bay, and I think all teams too, they're just like, hey, we can't have a corner play outside that can't run faster than a 4.55. Well, that's information. Sometimes you got to know those things. Notre Dame plays a weird schedule. They do. They play that FBS independent schedule. And obviously Morrison missed their playoff run against top opponents. So when they went, on their late season run and on their playoff run and playing against a bunch of other guys that'll go into the NFL, he kind of missed that. So we didn't get some of those amazing matchups that we would have had. Certainly, like, we would have loved to see him against Jeremiah Smith, would have loved to see him against Emeka Buka, had he been healthy for the Ohio State game. Like, those matchups we just missed. And, sometimes Notre Dame's odd schedule where they got Northern Illinois and God knows who, Navy, Army on the schedule early in the season. Tough to sort of gauge when you're playing the MAC or you're playing against the service academy that's running the triple option. It's just a lot of goofy stuff on film when you're trying to watch Morrison, especially in 2024. Finally, he's not overly physical in the run game or while defending wide receiver screens. He's not going to, throw an opposing wide receiver out of the way and go make the tackle on a wide receiver screen. He's a cover guy, okay? But I think he can be a super elite cover guy, and that's what we'll dive right into the Packers fit. I think he's right on the border of their weight requirement, so that's worth knowing. Or worth paying attention to, right? I think I saw one place, I've seen 186. The Packers line is usually at 190. Not saying they wouldn't take a 186-pound corner, but the line kind of has been at 190 pounds. Fit, it's an obvious roster need. Jair Alexander may not return. They probably shouldn't bring back Eric Stokes. You wouldn't use Keyshawn Nixon as a reason not to get better at that spot. Javon Bullard did not look good inside. They need to get better there. And again, the one thing on like the thresholds is ended the season not available due to injury. If he can't start the draft run up, right? If he can't do the combine, if he can't do Notre Dame's pro day, things like that, those will be things we don't know. Overall, though, I will say I've got a very solid first round grade on him. If he didn't have injury concerned, it would be more like a top 10 grade. And right now he is 21 overall for me. That's going to move up, though, if he shows that he's healthy and he puts up some really good testing numbers. I just want to know that he's healthy, and that's going to change him from like, a guy with a grade or a rank around like 21st overall and move him closer to like 14th or 13th. He's already really good, but again, especially for the Packers, I have concerns about guys that have injury concerns. Okay, guys, buy that Green Bay draft guide. Link should be right here. Promo code DAILY for $1 off. It's a great way to support us and do everything you're supposed to do right here on the Pack a Day Podcast YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, click the bell, get the notification so that you can get all the Packers content you require. Thank you all for watching. Thank Badger State Brewing for sponsoring this show. Have a great day and go Pack Go.